operations sergeant, and he was the command sergeant major at the time. Now, a little background on Sheriff Higgins. His law enforcement career began in 1984 with the Little Rock Police Department, where he served for 30 years, and he rose to the rank of assistant police chief, and then he retired in 2015. And then I guess, Sheriff, the being out of law enforcement, was still in your system, and you decided to throw your hat in the ring for the 2018 election, I believe was the first time.
That's right. That's right.
And then you were elected sheriff in Pulaski County here and took office January 1st, 2019 until now.
Correct. And just had re-election. So
yes.
Yes.
So congratulations on being reelected. Just a little bit of background on Sheriff Higgins' education. He has a Bachelor of Science in Multidisciplinary Studies, both government and business, a master's in Human Services Executive Leadership and Counseling. Volunteers his time at the Lisa Academy. And something I didn't know about you was that you're a licensed minister now for 29 years as well.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. And then I learned something about my buddy Ernest. I didn't know he had a PhD.
Yeah, he didn't tell everybody that.
Yes. But I'll share this story. I shared it with the sheriff. I can be hard-headed sometimes, y'all. I think most of you that know me personally know that I have that stubborn Irish streak in me once in a while. I got out-stubborn by Ernest as my command sergeant major. I hurt the third back injury was in front of him. And he first said, I think you ought to go to the emergency room. And I was like, I'll be okay, Sergeant Major, the hard-headed grunt. And then the next morning when he saw me barely able to move, he said, yesterday was a suggestion, this morning it's an order. Take your butt to the ER now. And I'm grateful because that's what put it into my Army medical records and allowed the VA to treat me. So I'll be eternally grateful that he out-stubborned me. Of course, he outranked me. I didn't have much choice. But a great guy, caring person. So you have a wonderful chief deputy as far as I'm concerned.
He is. And I'll tell you that we went to rookie school together.
Oh, really?
And we worked closely together at Little Rock Police Department. And I always depended on Chief Witten to give me wise counsel, to tell me when I'm wrong and to guide me in the right direction. So I truly depended on him back then and today.
Yeah, he rose through the ranks of the LRPD as well as you did.
Yes.
He retired as one of the executive from the department as well. Now, Sheriff, one of the interesting things, I called because I had a listener express a concern about an inmate in the jail that had some mental issues and difficulties. And I called Ernest and I said, I'd like you to check on this for me. This listener's concerned about his friend, and you guys responded real well. And then the next thing, the illustrious mayor of Little Rock, Frank Scott Jr., who I affectionately call Frank Jr., has gotten the crime rate out of hand. And I've given multiple national publications that sadly puts Little Rock in the top 10 most dangerous cities in the entire country. And so some of Frank's minions started attacking you and Governor Huckabee Sanders. And I found myself in the position of defending you and the governor, saying, well, it's not their responsibility. And then I got the idea that I should probably invite you to come in, which I'm glad you and Ernest, like I said, unfortunately he couldn't come in today, but you did. And I wanted to, so the listeners, and it's not only going to be for our local audience here in Central Arkansas, but like I said, I got listeners in 49 out of the 50 states. The only state we haven't gotten somebody logging in yet is Hawaii. And I'm determined to fix that. But, the sheriff's roles are pretty much standardized throughout the United States. So let's start with, we have the incorporated cities of Little Rock, North Little Rock, Sherwood, Jacksonville, Wrightsville.
Wrightsville's incorporated, but they don't have a police force.
Okay, so you're responsible for doing the policing in Wrightsville then.
Right, and what people understand, the responsibility of the sheriff is peace and to deal with crime in the entire county. So even though Little Rock has their police force, North Little Rock has theirs, we still have jurisdiction in those areas and
Yes.
assist and take actions in those areas as well.
But normally, you dial 911 if you live in Little Rock or Sherwood or Jacksonville.
You're gonna get that local police agency. Hopefully,
Yes.
it depends if you're calling from a cell phone. Depends on what tire you hit, but the dispatchers will make sure you get the right agency to respond. But we will, of course, we try to assist all agencies in Pulaski County. So we do try to work together regarding dealing with crime in Pulaski County.
Yes. And then, but as far as patrol work goes, usually you're concentrating on the unincorporated areas of Pulaski County and the residents out there.
Right.
And when they require police services.
Right. That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the difference, folks. If the Little Rock PD, like for example, the Arkansas State Police would be asked for help, all the agencies try to work together, but they also try not to step on each other's toes either.
Right.
There used to be a time in Arkansas where municipal police officers were prohibited from doing enforcement on the interstates. That was solely the state police's jurisdiction. And anyway, so you run for sheriff. Tell us about, first of all, how many sworn officers do you have? And you've got different divisions, obviously, of the sheriff's department.
So I have approximately 300 sworn personnel. Need more personnel. We are authorized a total staffing of a little over 500 staffing, including some civilian staffs. Now, that also includes the detention center. We have the Pulaski County Regional Detention Center. It is the facility wherever you're arrested in Pulaski County, that's the facility you're coming to. And so we have staff working there and responsible for that facility.
So, for example, if you're arrested in Little Rock or North Little Rock, it doesn't matter. You're coming
to Pulaski County Jail, and it's going to be our responsibility to house those individuals. And what some people don't realize is that when people are charged with felony crimes, and once that case, whether it's a homicide or what have you, once it goes to circuit court, that individual is a responsibility of the county. So if they go to circuit court or the case goes to circuit court and they don't show up for court, it's our responsibility to track them down.
Okay. I learned something there. Yeah. I didn't know. Okay, folks, as you know, we got to stop along the way and pay some bills. Now, the sheriff has graciously said if you want to call in with a question, that he'd be willing to take your calls. So if you want to be on the air with us, and by the way, if you're a first-time caller, I will hook you up with one of those delicious classic double cheeseburgers from Wayback Burgers here on the Chenal Curve, 501-403-5276 or 501-403-KARN. And you were listening to me, Steve Finnegan, here on News Radio 102.9 KARN.
Are you in need of roofing and construction services? Look no further than PI Roofing and Construction, your trusted experts in the industry.
Hi, this is Steve Finnegan from The Steve Finnegan Show. Are you a homeowner looking to enhance the beauty and durability of your roof? Our team of skilled professionals specializes in residential roofing, ensuring that your home is protected from the elements while looking stunning. But PI Roofing and Construction is not just residential. For our business owners, PI Roofing and Construction is here to serve your commercial roofing needs. We understand the unique challenges that come with commercial projects and provide reliable, top-notch solutions that meet your specific requirements.
So whether it's residential, commercial, or specialty roofing, you can trust PI Roofing and Construction to deliver the best results. Contact PI Roofing and Construction at 501-707-3110 or find us online at piroofing.com. That's piroofing.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-266-9102 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-266-9102. That's 800-266-9102. What do you have to lose? Call 800-266-9102. Again, 800-266-9102.
This Thursday morning at 9, go to newsradio1029.com for this sweet deal. $50 in gift certificates for $25 from Press Waffle Company, 1424 Main Street across from Loblolly. Press Waffle Company, a new way to waffle.
The young men and women who become United States Marines come from our hometowns to become a part of something greater than themselves. This commitment represents the highest level of steadfast allegiance to the betterment of our communities, our country, and our Marine Corps. The journey will be one of the most challenging, but also one of the most rewarding. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hi, this is Steve Finnegan from the Steve Finnegan Show for the Minton Law Firm. Justin Minton is the top injury lawyer in Arkansas. He has settlements totaling millions of dollars for his clients. Justin is an ex-insurance adjuster, and he knows how the insurance companies operate, which is why he can win your personal injury case. You can call the Minton Law Firm at 501-794-0001. That's 501-794-0001, 24 hours a day, and get a free consultation. The other way to get in contact with the Minton Law Firm is through the website at justinmintonlaw.com. All initial consultations are absolutely free, and with offices in Saline County and Faulkner County, Justin is always available to help you through the court process. I can speak from personal experience that Justin does a great job with auto accidents, slip and falls, bad faith insurance, and personal injury cases. So visit justinmintonlaw.com or call 501-794-0001 and start winning your case today.
You're listening to the Steve Finnegan Show, presented by the Minton Law Firm and PI Roofing and Construction on News Radio 1029 KARN and online at newsradio1029.com.
And welcome back, everybody, once again to the Steve Finnegan Show here live from the palatial studios of Cumulus Media and KARN here in West Little Rock. And I have with me in the studio Sheriff Eric Higgins of Pulaski County. I got some callers already and some texters that have questions for you,
Okay.
Sheriff, that you agreed.
Yeah.
So I think we'll start with the caller, David from North Little Rock. David, you're on the air with the Sheriff and Steve. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how y'all doing? Good to talk to you, Mr. Steve. And Sheriff Higgins, I've got a question for you. I've got a small cabinet business that I do business with, and I've done that 24 years. I know some sheriff departments have those reserve sheriff programs, and my question to you, with you saying you may need more officers, y'all have a reserve program, and also is 54 years old too old if you do have it?
We do have a reserve program, and we're always trying to expand it. And 54 is not too old. All we require is that you're 21, and so you can be a part of it.
I am sorry, folks. We just had a hiccup with the phone lines. David, I'm sorry. We accidentally dropped you. But yes, you got that. Hopefully David will call back in. And there was a couple other callers that were calling in. If you please call back in, we'll get you on the air. And that number is, of course, 501-403-5276 or 501-403-KARN. And I will go to some text messages now. Hey, Steve, ask Sheriff Higgins if he attended the National Sheriff's Convention in D.C.
And the answer to that is yes. I did go to it this year. It was my first time going to the national convention, but I did go. Yes.
Okay. And that same texter just texted in and he said, am I too old at 70 to 75 to be a reserve deputy?
We don't have an age limit on the top end. The thing is being able to work and serve the community in a variety of ways. We have some reserve deputies that are actually able to work the streets And we have others that work in other areas. They may go to public events and work with the community. So it just depends on, we want anyone who wants to be a part of it, looking for ways that you can assist the agency. It's so important that we couldn't do all that we do without our reserve deputies, to tell you the truth.
Right.
Yes.
I'm 70 years old, so
Okay.
I wouldn't be much good.
All right, Steve. Well, I appreciate that, Steve from Pine Bluff, and hopefully David will call back. Steve, are you a first-time caller?
Yes, sir.
What I'm going to do now, Kenny is in there by himself right now. He'll pick up the phone and he'll hook you up with one of those free classic burgers from way back.
Way back.
All right, I'm going to put you on hold. And then hopefully David from North Little Rock will call back in and we'll get him back on the air. So in the meantime, let us move over. Sheriff, I'm interested in being a reserve deputy as well. What do reserve deputies do?
So the reserve deputies will, like I mentioned, some of them are fully certified where they can work the streets by themselves. And we have a couple of deputies that do that. They may work going out in the community to give notices for sex offenders. Mm-hmm. The events that we work, they'll assist us in those events. Some of them are whether it's a parade or a community is having an event, they want the presence of the sheriff's office. We'll have people there for those events. We have reserve deputies who are assisting us in the detective division to make phone calls and look at some of the cases that if some of them have some background experience in law enforcement, we're getting their assistance in looking at some of our cold cases as well.
Okay. Well, that is, it's admirable. It's a way to get back to this wonderful place we all live in. As much as I bash the mayor, I know that the Little Rock Police Department has a heck of a lot of dedicated men and women that really want to make a difference. But the lines are blowing up over here, Sheriff. Let's take another call. Let's go to Bill in North Little Rock. Bill, welcome to the show. You're on the air with Steve and the sheriff. Hello, Bill. Okay, we might have lost Bill. Let's go to line 3 and David. David from North Little Rock, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Yeah, this is David Watson again. One other thing with the sheriff, does it come with full benefits? I know some of the departments, it's like a volunteer thing and they give you, don't give you much pay or no pay at all, but it give you a benefits package. Is that what Pulaski County does as well?
No, there's no benefit package at this time. It hasn't been offered to the reserve deputies in a number of years. So
I'm still interested in helping you guys out. I love law enforcement.
Well, I truly appreciate that. What we have done, the sheriff's office used to require the reserve deputies to pay for their uniform and all their equipment. But I stopped that. I said, no, if they're volunteering their time, they shouldn't pay a dime. So we provide the uniform, we provide everything for you. And because we appreciate the service that those who come in and help in this way, because you're volunteering your time. A lot of folks are retired or they have full-time jobs and they care about law enforcement. They care about the community. And so we want to make it as easy as possible for you to be a part of it.
There you go. I build cabinets, and that's my full-time job. But I've got lots of time on my hands, and I tell you, I'm gonna get online and try to apply, and I'm gonna tell them I talked to you.
Please do that. I appreciate you doing that. And if you want any other follow-up information, you can even call my office at 501-340-6930. That's 340-6930.
You said 340, and what's the last part of it?
6930. 6930.
All right. I'm going to be giving y'all a call, man.
All right,
and
David,
thank you for
put
protecting
you on
our
hold and let you
city.
get a burger, and
Thank
I'm going to go to one more caller before the bottom of the hour. Let's try Bill again from North Little Rock. Bill, welcome to the show. You're on the air with Steve and the sheriff. Make it quick, brother. You got about 45 seconds till we hit the break.
Thank you very much. Hope you're having a very blessed day. And thank you, Sheriff, for your service.
Yes,
I'd just like to ask, I know you've got an inmate over at Pulaski County named Don Brown. He's been there 2 years without going to trial. I was wondering how that is even possible.
Okay. So, you have a speedy trial that we have to follow, but if the defendant, if their attorney requests an extension, then it will be extended, and the speedy trial status doesn't come into play.
Okay, so he's been in there 2 years without a trial.
Bill, I'm going to have to put you on hold because we're at the bottom of the hour here. We'll carry you over into the next hour. Okay, folks, it is now, like I said, the bottom of the hour. We got the hard break coming up for the news, which I have no control over. Okay, I'm going to keep the sheriff with me maybe another 15 minutes, Sheriff, if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
Okay. You're listening to me, Steve Finnegan, on the Steve Finnegan Show here on News Radio 102.9 KARN.
Your day at First News with Toby Howell between 6 and 9 every weekday morning. Tune in at 28 at 58 past each hour and get your money news from Morgan Stanley Wealth Management's Lou Graham.
Fox News, I'm Jack Callahan. The White House defending President Biden against questions raised in the special counsel's report about President Biden's memory. Florida Republican Senator Marco Rubio says the concern extends beyond the retention of classified documents.
This conversation and that report is also being read in Beijing. It's being read in Tehran. It's being read in Moscow. It's being read by these terrorists hiding out in their little caves.
The president insists his memory is fine. The president pressing Congress for more Ukraine war funding.
Failure of the United States Congress, if it occurs, not to support Ukraine is close to criminal neglect.
The Senate working today on a military funding bill for Ukraine and Israel, while Israel's military says they found a new terror tunnel in Gaza that runs under the building used by the UN's relief agency. America is listening to Fox News.
Hello, this is Mary Nash with the Nash Law Firm. Bear and I say to you all the time, if you have $1 and 2 relatives, you need to do some estate planning. A lot of people come into me and they say, well, I've got a will. I've got everything taken care of. No, a will is simply a ticket to the probate court process. That means the court's going to be in charge of paying your debts, making sure those get paid before anything goes out to your family. So you want to be the one in control. Use a living trust. Come see me.
Call the Nash Law Firm today, 501-851-0040.
Shopify helps you sell at every stage of your business. Like that, let's put it online and see what happens stage.
And the site is live.
That we opened a store and need a fast checkout stage. Thanks. You're all set. That count it up and ship it around the globe stage.
This one's going to Thailand.
And that, wait, did we just hit 1 million orders stage? Whatever your stage, businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 a month trial at shopify.com/Westwood1.
Put it on the card. Put it in the bag. These 3 bags used to be 6. Seems like the only thing going up these days is your credit card balance. If only there were some place to turn. Just ask your home. It's got equity. And with Rocket Mortgage, you can use it to get cash quickly for whatever you need. Visit justaskyourhome.com today. Call 1-800-863-4332 for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
Tax day is coming.
Oh, no.
But if you sign up for Robinhood Gold's IRA with a 3% match, you can get up to $195 for the 2023 tax year.
Oh, yeah.
Sign up at Robinhood.com/boost by tax day to get the biggest contribution match on the market. Subscription fees apply.
Investing involves risk. 3% match requires gold for 1 year from first match. Must keep IRA for 5 years. Robinhood Financial, LLC, member SIPC.
When you need auto parts, O'ReillyAuto.com is just a click away. Order online and pick up at your local store. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Kroger always gives you savings and rewards on top of our lower than low prices. And when you download the Kroger app, you can enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply.
We've locked in low prices to help you save big store-wide. Look for the locked in low prices tags and enjoy extra savings throughout the store. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Asante came to TurboTax after graduating from culinary school and landing a job in the hottest kitchen in town.
My hands are full all day, every day. I love it.
Asante, as your TurboTax expert, I'll make your moves count, guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and your maximum refund. Sound good?
Yes, expert.
Switch to Intuit TurboTax and make your moves count. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Put it on the card. Put it in the bag. These 3 bags used to be 6. Seems like the only thing going up these days is your credit card balance. If only there were some place to turn. Just ask your home. It's got equity. And with Rocket Mortgage, you can use it to get cash quickly for whatever you need. Visit justaskyourhome.com today. Call 1-800-863-4332 for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
You're listening to The Steve Finnegan Show, presented by the Minton Law Firm and PI Roofing and Construction on News Radio 1029 KARN and online at newsradio1029.com.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Steve Finnegan Show here on this busy Saturday afternoon, February 10th, 2024. Sheriff Higgins has graciously said he'll stick with us for another 15 or so minutes. And then, like I said, I'll have Dr. Sam Worry will be the next guest on, where we'll be talking about Frank Jr. So for those of you that are buddies of Frank Jr.'s, tell Frank to tune in, because I got a lot to talk about on our illustrious mayor, who I won't go any further until then, because we're going to stick on topic. But hey, before we get back to these calls, if you want to have a question for Sheriff Higgins, or you can text me and I'll ask him on the air. That's 501-403-5276, 501-403-KARN. But I like giving away stuff. So first-time callers are going to get that free classic cheeseburger from our friends at Wayback. But next week coming up, Monday through Friday, you're going to have to listen to Brad. Tune into the Schmidt Show to win Wheel of Fortune Live tickets. Wheel of Fortune Live will be at the Robinson Center on Tuesday, February 20th at 7 p.m. If you win, your tickets will be at the will call window, or you can purchase tickets from Ticketmaster.com or at the Robinson Center box office. That's February 20th at 7 p.m. Wheel of Fortune Live tickets, and you can get them right here from the Schmidt Show and us at News Radio 1029 KARN. That ought to be fun, y'all. Vanna White has been doing that show with Pat Sajak for many years. Okay, folks. So Sheriff, while we're getting these callers lined up, we started. You have the largest jail, I believe, in the state is in Pulaski County as far as county jails go.
Right. This is largest county jail. It's a 1,210 bed facility, and we're probably the 4th largest. If you include state prisons, we're the 4th largest in the state.
Wow, I didn't know that. And you've got overcapacity a little bit right now.
We're averaging about 1,300. We were averaging in the last year about 1,330. So we're over capacity. The reality is we need more bed space. It's key that we are able to house some of the folks that are being arrested out there.
Yes. Now here's the big question.
Okay.
I got to ask.
Right.
There's been a controversy, let's put it mildly, between the governor's office and the Arkansas Board of Correction, the Department of Correction, and the Attorney General.
Right.
So I'm sure as a sheriff, you're probably in favor of more prison beds opening at the state level.
I am in favor of more beds, but I'll tell you what the real need at a county level is more beds at the county level. And the reason for that is we are holding just felons.
Okay.
We don't have the capacity to hold for misdemeanors. And about 80% of the people who are booked in the county jail are released to the community. And so you're dealing with the recidivism rate at a county level. And so what we need is more beds here. And I did have an opportunity to to speak to the governor when she first took office and was talking to the city of Little Rock and the sheriff's office in North Rock and some community leaders. And I voiced that then, that I need more beds at a county level, because agencies we're making arrests of people, but we don't have any place to hold them. And so we end up being a revolving door on some charges that we just don't have the capacity.
Kenny, we got another call coming in, but I'm not sure who's first up, so we can take the next caller. Is it Wayne or Bill? Okay. Bill was on hold the longest. Bill, welcome to the show. You're on the air with Steve and the sheriff.
Thank you, Sheriff. To continue our conversation, you were talking about Donald Brown, who's been in jail for 2 years without a trial, and he said something about his lawyer giving up that time. His lawyer has not given up that time. The holdup is in the prosecutor's office. The judge herself said that he's not fit to stand trial. He's been diagnosed with dementia. He doesn't have a prior record at all. And the one person in the prosecutor's office wants him to be held. This is a childhood friend of mine for 65 years.
I think this is the Bill I was telling you about that reached out to me for help.
So just real quickly, if a person is in the jail and there's some question of their being the mental capacity on whether or not they should face the charges, then there's an evaluation process that they have to go through. And generally that is a recommendation by the prosecutor's office. Unfortunately, that takes an extensive amount of time. When people are sometimes they're held in our facility, and they have to be held until they can be evaluated. And then once they go for evaluation, they come back to our facility and they're held there. I'm unable to release them because a judge is holding them there. And sometimes there's no place for them to go. We have several people in our facility who shouldn't be there because of their mental condition. They need to be somewhere else. Unfortunately, there's not enough beds statewide to house these individuals that need constant help. And so it's an unfortunate thing that he's dealing with, of having to be in this facility. And that's why it's so important to me that we increase our mental health staff. And I have tried for the last 2 years to increase the mental health professionals in the facility to assist these individuals that are in our custody that I'm responsible for, to ensure that they're getting the proper care while they're in the facility.
The judge ordered him to be
Bill,
taken to the state
I don't mean to
hospital.
cut you off, brother, but I've got a bunch of other folks that want to ask the sheriff some questions. So what I'm going to do, Sheriff, would you please give Bill your phone number, and you guys can do this off the air one day?
Yeah, Bill, my number is 501-340-6930. 6930. So 340-6930. Please give me a call, and I'm willing. You can come in and meet with me. We can set up a time for you to come by, and we can sit down and talk about this case specifically and see what can be done.
God bless you too, Bill, for being such a loyal friend and trying to look out for your buddy. I know that God will send you a blessing for that.
Amen.
Okay, folks. Like I said, we got a bunch of folks on hold, so I think Wayne is the next one up. Wayne, welcome to the show. You're on the air with Steve and the sheriff.
Yes, sir. It's sorry, not what y'all talking about. But I don't have to quit. I'm just saying when I got disabled plate. Now,
Wayne, hold on a second. We're both having trouble hearing you. The phone was breaking up. Can you please start over or put your mouth a little closer to the microphone?
Sir. Yes, sir. I'm disabled, and I got a disabled plate. Now, on a lot of these handicap spots, it's got van accessible parking. Does that mean you got to have a van to park there? Or if I park there, I don't have a van, but if I park there, am I going to get a ticket for parking there?
No, sir. No, not as long as you have you display the handicap sticker. You'll be fine.
Okay, Wayne.
Okay, I've been told that I could.
Have a great rest of the day. All righty, let's move on to Michael. Michael, welcome to the show. You're on the air with Steve and the sheriff.
Thank you, sir. I've got more than anything
actual comment. I think that the sheriff's departments in our state are the most underpaid sector of our state. These guys go out there and they put their lives on the line every day for us. I know some county mounties, and they don't make a good living. All the things he talks about, that psych experience, everything comes with experienced officers. I think our legislatures need to do a big job of getting together, county by county, swarming the Senate and the Congress in Arkansas and demanding pay raises for our officers. And that's the bottom line on it, guys. I'm out.
All right. Well, I appreciate that call, Michael.
And I agree with you. They work hard. They get paid less than they should. They need a big bump in pay. We appreciate everything that they do.
Now, Sheriff, I'm not sure how close you're going to be able to get into this one,
Okay.
but I got a text message. I just wrote down Juan Ruiz, I believe is the inmate's name. He was 18 years old and arrested on capital murder in the death of the 17-year-old Justin Heerman Jr. Just outside of Little Rock, so it was in your jurisdiction. And the caller wants to know, was that an illegal immigrant or was that somebody here legally, or do you even know?
I do not know.
Okay. So we don't know about that, but we can say that the Sheriff's Department detectives and Patrol Division did a good job and they caught the perpetrator, and
Right.
he's charged with capital murder. We'll have to find out in the future whether or not that was somebody who is here illegally or not. Okay, folks, as you know, we got to stop and pay some bills. When we come back, Carmen, you'll be first up with the sheriff, and Steve, you're listening to me, Steve Finnegan, here on News Radio 1029 KARN. Hi, this is Steve Finnegan from the Steve Finnegan Show for the Minton Law Firm. Justin Minton is the top injury lawyer in Arkansas. He has settlements totaling millions of dollars for his clients. Justin is an ex-insurance adjuster, and he knows how the insurance companies operate, which is why he can win your personal injury case. You can call the Minton Law Firm at 501-794-0001. That's 501-794-0001, 24 hours a day, and get a free consultation. The other way to get in contact with the Minton Law Firm is through the website at justinmintonlaw.com. All initial consultations are absolutely free, and with offices in Saline County and Faulkner County, Justin is always available to help you through the court process. I can speak from personal experience that Justin does a great job with auto accidents, slip and falls, bad faith insurance, and personal injury cases. So visit justinmintonlaw.com or call 501-794-0001 and start winning your case today.
Having repairs done in your apartment should never come with strings attached, like being harassed and constantly pressured for sexual favors.
My landlord told me my rent would be free if I gave him something in exchange.
The Fair Housing Act protects you from harassment by anyone associated with your housing, including someone making unwelcome sexual advances. If this happens to you, file a complaint with HUD. No strings attached. To learn more, visit HUD.gov/fairhousing. If you fear for your safety, call 911. A public service message from HUD in partnership with the National Fair Housing Alliance.
Over $6 billion in tax refunds were flagged by the IRS for possible identity theft in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Their U.S.-based restoration specialists are dedicated to helping solve identity theft issues, and all plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which means if you lose money because of identity theft, LifeLock will reimburse you to the limits of your plan. Go to LifeLock.com and save up to 25% your first year with promo code CLAY.
Life of a small business owner. Keeping the lights on, calling all the shots, checking all the boxes. But don't be fooled by all that income. It's still about waking up too early, interrupting your life with that thing that is your small business. And then there's workplace accidents. People are busy, they're distracted, they're tired, and they always have something new to deal with. 500-degree ovens, fresh concrete in a 3-foot trench, relentless thorns in a bouquet of bougainvilleas, rusty nails, clouds of sawdust. Danger lurks around every corner. What are workers going to do? How can your employees feel like they're covered in case of an accident? Despite your best efforts, workplace accidents can happen, but there is an easy way to keep your employees covered. Talk to your agent about workers' comp coverage from PI, or go to piinsurance.com and get a quote. Safety first, then Pi Insurance. Individual rates, offerings, and savings may vary, subject to policy terms and conditions. Not available in all states and situations.
The Ed Milet Show showcases the greatest peak performers sharing their journey, knowledge, and thought leadership.
This is one of the all-time best pieces of advice ever given on the show.
Author and coach Tony Robbins.
You don't experience life. You experience the life you focus on.
Singer Jason Derulo.
My happiest moments have always been in the grind.
Singer Jewel.
I think healing is a gritty job. It's you looking in the mirror and going, what do I got? No one's coming for me. I'm coming for me.
The Ed Milet Show is available on YouTube or wherever you listen.
You're listening to the Steve Finnegan Show, presented by the Menton Law Firm and PI Roofing and Construction on News Radio 1029 KARN and online at newsradio1029.com.
And welcome back, everyone. Once again, I have the Sheriff of Pulaski County, Arkansas with me, and lots of questions, some very good ones. Some of them, like I said, he'll help the person on Monday when he gets into the office. But Bill, I really want to say again, what a great friend that you're so willing to look out. You know, I believe God sends you a blessing for that. Alrighty, as promised, we're going to have Carmen come on with us. Carmen is calling from Pulaski County, Arkansas. Welcome to the show. You're on with Steve and the Sheriff.
Thank you. And I hope that this isn't just a ridiculous question. However, it's one that impacts my life greatly. What are the rules as it relates to driving with bright lights engaged, particularly people who pull trailers? Because I encounter as a driver, without exception, at least 100 cars a week that are driving with bright lights on, and they're those bright lights, you know, rather than the yellow base or the white base. Mm-hmm. And it's just maddening. And I don't think that police enforces anything, because I never see anybody getting pulled over for just consistent driving with bright lights.
Mm-hmm. Well, then you're not supposed to drive with your bright lights on, because what you're experiencing, it can blind the oncoming traffic. You're not supposed to do that. Unfortunately, sometimes when people are doing that, when law enforcement comes down the road, they'll dim their lights. And so we're not seeing that. But that, you know, you're not supposed to do it. If you encounter something like that, or someone's doing that, you can always, call the local agency, the non-emergency numbers, and we can see if we can come across them, which is, realistically, probably unlikely that we'll be able to drive up on them, but we need to be aware of it and monitor that area, because it may be the same vehicles coming the same route. And so we may be able to catch them.
I would personally be grateful if there was perhaps a bulletin, passed through the ranking, police agencies to kind of pay special interest to that, because it is grossly hazardous to the oncoming traffic. And I personally have just barely escaped 2 accidents just in the last 2 weeks alone.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, because we got lots of people, Carmen, listening here all across Central Arkansas and all across the country online. So I'm just going to make a big announcement. Don't be a knucklehead. Turn your high beams off. How's that?
Thank you. Be safe, everyone.
I'll tell you a story to make you laugh, Carmen. I used to be in law enforcement myself many moons ago. And I had something very similar to what you experienced. Was on a deserted backwoods road and car coming at me. Of course, this is before the modern light bulbs that are so much brighter than the light bulbs of the 80s and 90s. And
exactly.
I flashed the lights at the guy and he wouldn't turn them off. So I flashed them again. He still wouldn't turn them off. I turned on the blue lights. He turned them off.
Well, unfortunately, were I to do that, I'd be arrested for impersonating a law enforcement officer.
All right, Carmen, is this your first time calling, I think? So I'll put you on hold, and Kenny will hook you up with one of those classic Wayback Burgers.
It is this year. This was the first occasion I thought personally important enough to voice my concerns. So thank you for the opportunity.
You're very welcome. And keep in mind, though, if you call Brad, you can get another double Wayback Burger. Both shows are giving them away this year. All right, I'm going to put you on hold. Thanks, Carmen.
And Ms. Carmen, I'll send information to our deputies to let them know that this is an issue that's been brought up and we need to pay attention to it.
Yes. And I know I have a large law enforcement following. I'm sure that they will listen. And that includes, Sheriff, you're not going to believe this. You know, Rush used to have his Rush rooms. I'd be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to my buddies out there in Tacoma, Washington, on the U.S. Coast Guard cutter retired Acushnet. My friend Mark and his gang has a bunch of sailors, soldiers, Marines that are retired, Air Force guys. And he said, Seattle and Tacoma cops and the deputies from the respective King County, and I forget what county Tacoma's in. I know it's a different county, but they all get together. So, hey, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening way out there in Tacoma, and a shout out.
Great.
Okay, I've got a couple lines open. If anybody has any other questions, we got about 5 minutes left with Sheriff Higgins, and then I will have Dr. Sam come in. And he's going to spend the last hour of the show with me. And the sheriff has graciously said that he would love to come back in the future. So maybe in a couple months, you know, as we move into the spring, we'll get the sheriff back on. Now, if you have a question, law enforcement wise, for Sheriff Higgins, it's or me, 501-403-5276 or 501-403-KARN. And that is also the number you can text to. So another texter, how do if I want to be a reserve deputy, what qualifications do I have to develop because they've never been in law enforcement?
Well, the main qualifications is, we're going to look at your background, look at your driving history. You can't have a felony record. Those are the big things. And obviously we look at a person's character. But I would tell you, if you're interested, go ahead and give us a call, or you can go to our website at pcso.org and look at joining us. And we'll have a detective or a lieutenant or someone contact you and sit down with you. You can come in, you can tour the facility, and just have a conversation to see if it fits for you. But the requirements are we're looking for people who care about the community, can't have a felony record, have to be 21 years old or older. And because you may have an opportunity to drive a vehicle, we'll look at your driving record. But we're looking for good people that want to be a part of the organization, whether full-time or as reserves. And again, we're looking for people who care about our community.
Yeah. So you're hiring if you want a job as a deputy sheriff.
Absolutely. We're hiring, absolutely hiring. And I'll mention in our detention center, we probably got over 50 vacancies in the detention center. Okay. And we are looking for people who want to work in that environment. It's a great opportunity. Pays the same as a deputy working the streets. And you do have some good benefits.
Yes.
So,
well, there you go, folks. 50 job openings is a lot of open jobs, and there's a lot of folks looking for work at this point. Yeah. So, Sheriff, one more question. I don't want to seem like I'm beating up, on the city, but you and I talked a little bit about the skyrocketing homicide rate, and it's been affecting the African-American community more than others. Now, there was our news partner is KRK, and I'm going to have to open the window real quick on this. There was a young guy that the city just gave some money to called GOAT, and he's trying to work with kids. I'm seeing if I can find the Little Rock After School Funding Program. I knew my friends over Kelvin Parker, the founder of GOAT, Giving Others Ambition Together Academy for Kids. Now, this is not open just for African-American children. This is open to all children. And I saw Kelvin being interviewed yesterday. He's doing a fantastic job. He was into sports. He said that kept him out of trouble. And Michael Parker, you're going to be up next after I finish this question with the sheriff. You're going to be the last question of the day for the sheriff. But what do you think we could do to stop some of the violence that's affecting the African American community here in Little Rock so badly.
Well, I'll tell you, there's things that Little Rock used to do effectively, and they had an OK program. Now, it's a program that's directed toward African American youth to reduce the homicide rate and incarceration rate of African American men and youth in the community. That's a program you have to be aggressive with. You have to support it. It's a partnership between the police department, the community, and the churches and the schools, and you put the officers in the schools. You have to be serious about that. It was effective. I'll be honest, one of the challenges you have is when a police agency tries to take it over and run it the way we think it needs to run.
We're down to 30 seconds.
Okay.
I hate to
All right.
interrupt you, but I promised Michael I'd get him on the air real quick. Michael, you got about 30 seconds, brother. Make it count.
Yes, sir. First of all, Sheriff Higgins, I want to thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And you educated me about the ratio of felons to misdemeanors and the catch and release. How much money do you need for new jail and staff, or increased size jail and staff?
So I need about 1,000 more beds, I think, to accommodate and have room for other things that we're doing, including a reentry program there. If you're
Sheriff,
looking,
I hate to do this, but we got 5 seconds left. Folks, thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. Sheriff, back after the news.
Little Rock's news, traffic, and weather station. KARN FM. Sheridan, Little Rock. A Cumulus media station.
It could be a national security issue. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News. A special counsel report that said President Biden will not face charges in his classified documents case due to his poor memory. Senator Marco Rubio telling Fox News Live foreign adversaries may use this against the U.S.
This conversation and that report is also being read in Beijing. It's being read in Tehran. It's being read in Moscow. It's being read by these terrorists hiding out in their little caves.
President Biden says his memory is fine. As lawmakers fight over border policy in D.C., the flow of migrants crossing into the U.S. continues, but it is shifting from Texas to Arizona and California as Texas Governor Greg Abbott continues to put razor wire and other border barriers in place. Fox's Casey Stiegel is in Eagle Pass, Texas.
Lone Star State crossings have certainly dropped, but they have not halted altogether. Instead of thousands in a single day, now they're dealing with hundreds in a single day. And here in the Del Rio sector where we are, in fact, activity has shifted away from this spot and further up and down river. North and south of here, from the 47-acre military zone, now controlled mostly by the state. More large groups coming across away from Shelby Park. Now, handfuls of migrants are still being apprehended inside the city park, which was once the epicenter of this crisis. But now the governor says an average of 10 per day are arriving.
Several Republican governors sending their National Guard troops to the Texas border to assist. A Russian drone strike on Ukraine's second largest city, Kharkiv, killing 7 people overnight, including 3 children. At least 10 drones were launched at Kharkiv, 8 of which were shot down. One of the drones set off a massive fire that, according to reports from Ukraine, burned down 15 private houses. America is listening to Fox News.
Stay on top of the latest forecast with America's Weather Team in the palm of your hands.
Here's the latest from America's Weather Center.
It's Fox weather updates throughout your busy day, every day.
5 inches of rain by tomorrow.
Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com. Connect to Fox News Audio on the Fox News app. Listen to hear your favorite hosts like Brian Kilmeade, Jimmy Fallon, and Guy Benson standing up for what's right, live and via podcast. Just click listen, then swipe right and hear the latest news updates on your time. And scroll down to hear the latest podcasts from Fox News. And it's even easier to listen in the car with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Get programming alerts and notifications. Fox News Audio is on the Fox News app. The voices America trusts. Download it now.
Israeli airstrikes are reported to have killed at least 44 Palestinians in the southern Gaza city of Rafah. The strikes coming hours after Israel's prime minister said he had asked the military to plan for the evacuation of hundreds of thousands of people there ahead of a ground invasion that set off a panic. More than half of Gaza's 2.3 million people are packed in the area around Rafah. As the Super Bowl approaches, security is beefed up for the big event.
The Super Bowl is a Tier 1 national security event. That means it gets a special team from the federal government to assist the state and local authorities here. The federal government says there was an extensive operation here. In part, Department of Homeland Security says it operated a bomb prevention workshop. Also, U.S. Customs and Border Protection says it will be scanning vehicles and cargo entering the stadium here for narcotics, weapons, and explosives. The sheriff of this town says he thinks Vegas will handle this event so well, there will be more Super Bowls in Vegas in the future. Super Bowl 58 is expected to generate more than $600 million and attract 330,000 people.
Fox's Matt Finn reporting from Las Vegas. An American man who was reportedly kidnapped has been found in a Mexican jungle with his eyes taped shut. As Fox's Gary Baumgarten reports.
Mexican officials say 35-year-old Joseph Constantine Buenancountry was found in a straw hut deep in the wilderness 3 days after disappearing from his house in a remote town. Buenancountry, who is from New York, told police he had been abducted 3 days earlier, but he has no idea who his captors are. Soldiers found him after locals told them they'd spotted a taxi filled with armed men heading into the jungle at an opening next to a highway. Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
And I'm Jack Callahan. This is Fox News.
Put it on the card. Put it in the bag. These 3 bags used to be 6. Seems like the only thing going up these days is your credit card balance. If only there were some place to turn. Just ask your home. It's got equity. And with Rocket Mortgage, you can use it to get cash quickly for whatever you need. Visit justaskyyourhome.com today. Call 1-800-863-4332 for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLS consumeraccess.org, number 3030.
Shopify helps you sell at every stage of your business. Like that, let's put it online and see what happens stage.
And the site is live.
That we opened a store and need a fast checkout stage.
Thanks. You're all set.
That count it up and ship it around the globe stage.
This one's going to Thailand.
And that, wait, did we just hit 1 million orders stage? Whatever your stage, businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 a month trial at shopify.com/Westwood1.
The Steve Finnegan Show is on the air. The Steve Finnegan Show is presented by the Minton Law Firm. Call 501-794-0001 for a free consultation. And PI Roofing and Construction. Online at piroofing.com. You can call the Steve Finnegan Show at 501-403-KARN. Or text in your comments at the same number, 501-403-5276. It's the Steve Finnegan Show, and it starts right now on News Radio 1029 KARN and online at newsradio1029.com. Here's your host, Steve Finnegan.
'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. God bless the USA. God bless you all for tuning in. I am definitely grateful for each and every one of my listeners. Okay, that was a great interview. For those just joining us, I had Sheriff Eric Higgins in for mostly the hour, last hour. That was supposed to be a 30-minute interview that turned into the whole hour. And I have Dr. Sam Werry with me in the studio now. And we're going to discuss some of the other stuff. But as you know, folks, this is the show where the Great Reset and Agenda 2030 meets the Great Awakening, where the dystopian 1984 meets the spirit of 1776. And I always do this in the first and third hours. As you know, I update everybody on the national debt. So last Saturday, February 3rd, 2024, the debt was at $34,199,900,000,000. Today, as I came on the show, on the air, it was $34,219,227,000,000, and the rest of the zeros spend too quickly for me to keep up with. So that means inside of 1 week, the U.S. government added another $19,327,000,000 to our national debt. And it's not sustainable, folks. This isn't going to work. It's going to cause difficulty. And it's like I said, they're taking in almost $5 trillion in revenue. And you think that they would be able to come up with a budget that would work. And so that equates to, and I explained, I had one of the listeners said, how do I arrive at this? It's a mathematical equation. For the debt per citizen, you take the U.S. Census Bureau's data and divide it into the national debt. So like I said, a baby born today in the United States, congratulations, happy birthday, welcome to the world, and you owe the U.S. government $101,755. For those that are actually a taxpayer, once again, take the Department of Treasury, how many people file tax returns, divide that by the national debt, and the debt per taxpayer is $269,945. Also, today is the Lunar New Year. It's the actual New Year. So to our Asian American friends that might be celebrating, happy Chinese New Year, everyone. And then, of course, wedding anniversaries, Dale and Mary Flamin. You've recognized Dale. He's been on the radio with me as the director of life for the Knights of Columbus in Arkansas. And he works over there, our great sponsor, PI Roofing. He and his wife, Mary, are married for 50 years. So happy anniversary. Now, folks, if you would like to be have me give a shout out to somebody, the rules are 50 or more years for anniversaries, 80 or higher on birthdays, or if you want to know, like we have the Open for Business on First News with Toby and Rebecca. We do the Open for Business for service disabled or veteran-owned small businesses because I am a retired soldier and Army veteran, as most of you well know. Okay, so covering the basic stuff. I mentioned this in the opening hour. Nikki Haley thinks that she should announce to the world. Sam's already laughing because this is hilarious that she is not interested in being the vice president on a Trump-Haley ticket. Well, guess what, Nikki, the Nick and Poop? He's not going to ask you to be that. Now, folks, we're going to get into a little bit of Little Rock. Now, Sam, I just joke with the sheriff, both of you being African-American. I said, you were an African-American before it was cool to be a Republican and African-American. So you've come full circle. So you got to talk directly into the microphone on one of these radio mics. So tell us a little bit about Dr. Sam Wery and introduce yourself to the audience.
Well, I'm Dr. Sam Wery. I'm a retired senior marketing and research analyst for the Mid-South Lower Mississippi Delta. Some 46 years. I originated out of Monticello, Arkansas. Graduated University of Arkansas, Monticello in 1973. Graduated University of Chicago in 1977. PhD in financial economics and systematic theology. I spent 15 years with International Telephone and Telegraph and another 10, 12 years with Winthrop Paul Rockefeller in the Lower Mississippi Delta. And I closed out my career in Atlanta, Georgia with Huntley and Partners, urban consultant. And the last 8 years, from 2015 until last January, I worked closely with the Governor Hutchinson and the 46th gubernatorial administration. And so I'm retired now, and I do a lot of writing and with some national syndicated columnists. And that's a little about Sam Wery.
Okay. Well, Sam, obviously you've been very educated and very responsible positions. And you, like me, are concerned with the problems going on with the African-American community, not just here, but you mentioned, you went to school in Chicago, and there's the crime rate in Chicago's through the roof. Little Rock, it's through the roof. The sheriff offered some great ideas. You know, he was the assistant police chief, so he has the experience to say what would work. And you and I have been friends for a long time. It's like, I don't know if you heard me mention when you were driving in, but you were the one that actually took the picture of me at the governor-elect at the time, Sanders' watch party on election night 2 years ago. And so let us start. I don't want to rehash because there's so much to get through, but in the first hour, I was talking about this illegal immigration, and Senator Chris Murphy, and I quote, "Illegal immigrants are the people that Democrats care the most about," unquote. And I played Stephen's interview from the ESPN and how he is an African American. We're talking about not only Black children, but everybody in America that's here legally or a citizen. And we got starving children. There's 14 million kids that are at risk of going hungry. And the Democrats are concentrating on the illegals. And then Kenny, I don't know if you still have the older gentleman from Chicago that we played, that he yelled at the mayor of Chicago, "We're voting for Trump." He'll fix it. So let's get your opinion first on this illegal immigration stuff. What do you think is the solution?
Well, the solution to illegal immigration is simple. Many people don't realize that the United States in 1776 defeated the British Empire and actually took over the 13 colonies in the Quebec province, and eventually purchased the Louisiana Purchase from Napoleon, which became the central part of the United States. The point is that the founding fathers, in the protection of the country, we have to realize that there are only two constitutional citizens of the United States. That is the 1776 majority white population that was victorious over the British, and the 1865 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment emancipated African slaves who now are my ancestral African-American citizens of the United States. Then there are the screen selected, approved immigrants for candidates for citizenship traditionally in the country. The Republican Party has maintained that platform for some mystic reason in the tradition of Democrats. It is more so drop that tradition and go to just at will, non-approved people coming into the country. And it has presented a major problem for the two major citizens of the country, especially for financial and economic stability. The African-American community is in dire need of total renovation development, which was a part of the Republican agenda from 2016 to 2020. Now the total economic package now is that if you look at the SBA and others, is that mostly it is Asian Indians and others who are doing entrepreneurships, businesses, medical, and that's fine if you approved. And what it's doing is actually causing a chaos among our entire economic system. And I'm an economist, and I just feel like that the United States, just the American vote, they have a decision to make in November. Are we going to stay this course with the present administration governance? Are we going to go back to the tradition of the founding with the Republicans and reestablish our great society as we know it, as it's been for over 200 years?
All right, Sam. Well, as you know, we got to stop along the way and
Yes.
honor the great sponsors of this show. Folks, Sam and I will be back after these messages. You're listening to me, Steve Finnegan, here on News Radio 1029 KARN.
Are you in need of roofing and construction services? Look no further than PI Roofing and Construction, your trusted experts in the industry.
Hi, this is Steve Finnegan from The Steve Finnegan Show. Are you a homeowner looking to enhance the beauty and durability of your roof? Our team of skilled professionals specializes in residential roofing, ensuring that your home is protected from the elements while looking stunning. But PI Roofing and Construction is not just residential. For our business owners, PI Roofing and Construction is here to serve your commercial roofing needs. We understand the unique challenges that come with commercial projects and provide reliable, top-notch solutions that meet your specific requirements.
So whether it's residential, commercial, or specialty roofing, you can trust PI Roofing and Construction to deliver the best results. Contact PI Roofing and Construction at 501-707-3110 or find us online at piroofing.com. That's piroofing.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-266-9102 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-266-9102. That's 800-266-9102. What do you have to lose? Call 800-266-9102. Again, 800-266-9102.
Life of a small business owner, keeping the lights on, calling all the shots, checking all the boxes. But don't be fooled by all that income. It's still about waking up too early, interrupting your life with that thing that is your small business. And then there's workplace accidents. People are busy, they're distracted, they're tired, and they always have something new to deal with. 500-degree ovens, fresh concrete in a 3-foot trench, relentless thorns in a bouquet of bougainvilleas, rusty nails, clouds of sawdust. Danger lurks around every corner. What are workers going to do? How can your employees feel like they're covered in case of an accident? Despite your best efforts, workplace accidents can happen, but there is an easy way to keep your employees covered. Talk to your agent about workers' comp coverage from PI, or go to piinsurance.com and get a quote. Safety first, then PI Insurance. Individual rates, offerings, and savings may vary, subject to policy terms and conditions. Not available in all states and situations.
Hi, this is Steve Finnegan from The Steve Finnegan Show for the Minton Law Firm. Justin Minton is the top injury lawyer in Arkansas. He has settlements totaling millions of dollars for his clients. Justin is an ex-insurance adjuster, and he knows how the insurance companies operate, which is why he can win your Personal injury case. You can call the Minton Law Firm at 501-794-0001. That's 501-794-0001, 24 hours a day, and get a free consultation. The other way to get in contact with the Minton Law Firm is through the website at justinmintonlaw.com. All initial consultations are absolutely free, and with offices in Saline County and Faulkner County, Justin is always available to help you through the court process. I can speak from personal experience that Justin does a great job with auto accidents, slip and falls, bad faith insurance, and personal injury cases. So visit justinmintonlaw.com or call 501-794-0001 and start winning your case today.
You're listening to the Steve Finnegan Show, presented by the Minton Law Firm and PI Roofing and Construction on News Radio 1029 KARN and online at newsradio1029.com.
And welcome back, folks. You're listening to me, Steve Finnegan, here on News Radio 1029 KRN with my guest, Dr. Sam Worry. And Sam, I just showed you as on the break how much stuff we're going to have to try to get through in the next hour. And then there's a real important thing that I want to play, folks. I've got a guy that's running for Congress that has given some very damning information on the January 6th committee and on the FBI. And when we come back from the bottom of the hour news, I want to play this for you. That's one of the things that I am very determined that I'm going to get to today. But Sam, I'm going to skip doing a Frank Jr. update, which we know is the theme song from Shaft, because Frank is marvelous about giving the city of Little Rock the shaft, as I point out to people. So right now, we were talking about this in the practicality and some of the bad decisions that the mayor is making financially. So I this week I put this out on Facebook, and we'll start with FEMA. Folks, as you know, unfortunately, we had a tornado drop down in Saline County last night that did some damage. It's like I said, call our friends over at PI Roofing, and they will be able to help you through that. And then, of course, if you need an attorney, Justin Minton is my personal attorney that helped me through a car accident and did everything from scratch to help me. But I'm going to try to get to what's going on with the mayor. So the mayor, first it was, I guess it was one of our local news stations that put out that the mayor had been nominated by the Biden administration to be on the FEMA advisory board. And I was just shocked by it, because we have here, and I have the press release. I wanted to make sure I get it. Now, if you're on social media, you can find Sam and I both on Facebook. Then I have the 57th Patriot page, which has become a forum where listeners post stuff, I post stuff, and then some of the other pages. And I took the mayor's quote. It's a privilege to be named by the Biden administration to the FEMA Emergency Management Agency National Advisory Council. We will use the experience and lessons learned in Little Rock to help guide emergency management preparedness and responses across. And then the Little Rock press secretary, Adam Sadler, who I'm going to reach out to with some very detailed questions based upon his press release. But I'm going to throw this out there, Sam. Okay, Frank Jr., please inform us what training and expertise you have in emergency management. Do you have any training as a law enforcement officer, a firefighter, an EMT, or a paramedic, or any other training whatsoever in emergency management? Have you taken any courses in college? Then I said, Mayor, Frank Jr., why has not Little Rock Fire Station number 9 been rebuilt? Now, we're coming up on almost a year since the March 31st tornado. And the station sat as a pile of rubble for almost 9 months. And I think about 4 weeks ago, give or take, the city knocked down the remainder of the building and hauled off all the debris. So it's a vacant lot now. Now, FEMA, he's going to be such an expert on, has grant money that can be used to rebuild and restore emergency services. And what he's done is he's abandoned all that part of Little Rock. For those that are not familiar or listening out of state, Fire Station 9 covers West Little Rock area here for emergency fire services, medical services. I know some of the firefighters over there that served at that station. Wonderful folks. That should have been a top priority of this mayor, and it's not been rebuilt yet. And then, Sam, we were talking a little bit with the sheriff and you about the violent crime rate that's plaguing the African-American community here in Little Rock. And after asking him why has not LRFD Station 9 at least be under construction by this point and being rebuilt, the Little Rock crime rate has skyrocketed to 425% over the national average. And it's in all in the violent categories, murder, robbery, and that. And so I asked the mayor, please enlighten us, Frank Jr., on all the skills you're going to contribute to FEMA. And he, of course, ignored it and did not respond. And that's sad. What's your thoughts on that, Sam?
Well, I can understand that Frank getting that appointment because, number one, Frank's entire administration, he is a Democrat, and quite naturally, as with Arkansas being 95, 96% Republican base, it was a political expediency move to place him on that agency. One thing that I have that I address openly to the administration and to others is that Little Rock needs a role model plan to address its crime rate, just as all African American communities, both urban and rural, in the United States. And one thing that I like is the University of Chicago's Urban Institute Woodlawn project that transformed that entire neighborhood along with Inglewood and relocated populations and redeveloped. Yes, Chicago have major problems, but the socioeconomics, Chicago is, for the 7th consecutive year, the best city in the United States. And African Americans consistently in Chicago economically are well above the poverty line as far as income wise. And I feel like Little Rock right now, with West Little Rock, Pulaski Heights, Cabot, and other places that are progressing, south to 630 could be a viable development, because during the Hutchinson administration, when Tim Scott came, we came in French Hill, we had the enterprise zones, but that was totally neglected. I mean, like, the city just did not take an avenue to go after that. And now that you're in an administration now whose whole economic plan is towards immigrants and foreigners, because every time you see a new business or a new medical team, they're coming in from out of state, whereas out of the country.
Sam, I'm going to have to stop you for a second because we're coming up to the bottom of the hour news. Okay, folks, you're listening to me, Steve Finnegan, here on News Radio 102.9 KARN. After the news, Sam and I will be back, and we'll talk about another debacle where Mayor Frank Scott Jr. is going to waste the money of the Little Rock taxpayers.
NewsRadio1029.com. If you missed a show or just a segment, all you have to do is go to NewsRadio1029.com and click on the On Demand tab at the top of the page and download any or all of the past episodes of The Schmidt Show.
That's the job of the federal government.
Listen to The Schmidt Show when you have time by downloading all the past episodes at the On Demand tab on NewsRadio1029.com.
Fox News, I'm Ann Carrick. U.S. Central Command reports strikes against mobile and unmanned vessels and missiles launched against ships in the Red Sea and Houthi-controlled areas of Yemen. They say all posed a threat to ships in the region. Houthi rebels have been staging attacks in the area for months, claiming solidarity with Hamas in its fight against Israel. Comments by the special counsel regarding President Joe Biden having a poor memory is raising eyebrows. Republican Senator Marco Rubio.
People that are concerned about his memory, about his acuity and our mental acuity, are not basing it off one report. They're basing it off watching this guy for the last 2 or 3 years.
The president says his memory is fine. House Speaker Mike Johnson saying a man too incapable of being held accountable for mishandling classified information is certainly unfit for the Oval Office. And it's Super Bowl weekend. The big game is tomorrow. Kansas City and San Francisco will face off in Las Vegas. Kickoff 6:30 p.m. America's listening to Fox News.
Shopify helps you sell at every stage of your business. Like that, let's put it online and see what happens stage.
And the site is live.
That we opened a store and need a fast checkout stage. Thanks. You're all set. That count it up and ship it around the globe stage.
This one's going to Thailand.
And that, wait, did we just hit 1 million orders stage? Whatever your stage, businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 a month trial at shopify.com/Westwood1.
Congratulations. Your kid and your cash are off to college. Between his tuition and your credit card balances, you don't know how you're going to pay for any of it. If only there were some place to turn. Just ask your home. Your home's got equity. And with Rocket Mortgage, you can use it to get cash quickly for whatever you need. Visit justaskyourhome.com today. Call 1-800-863-4332 for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
Asante came to TurboTax after graduating from culinary school and landing a job in the hottest kitchen in town.
My hands are full all day, every day. I love it.
Asante, as your TurboTax expert, I'll make your moves count, guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and your maximum refund. Sound good?
Yes, expert.
Switch to Intuit TurboTax and make your moves count. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
When you need auto parts, O'ReillyAuto.com is just a click away. Order online and pick up at your local store. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Kroger always gives you savings and rewards on top of our lower than low prices. And when you download the Kroger app, you can enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply.
We've locked in low prices to help you save big store-wide. Look for the locked in low prices tags and enjoy extra savings throughout the store. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Your tax refund belongs to you, not an identity thief. Over $6 billion in tax refunds were flagged by the IRS for possible identity theft in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Our U.S.-based restoration specialists are experts dedicated to helping solve your identity theft issues, and all LifeLock plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package. So we'll reimburse you up to the limits of your plan if you lose money due to identity theft. Don't let someone else enjoy your refund. Save up to 25% your first year at LifeLock.com/aware.
Put it on the card. Put it in the bag. These 3 bags used to be 6. Seems like the only thing going up these days is your credit card balance. If only there were some place to turn. Just ask your home. It's got equity. And with Rocket Mortgage, you can use it to get cash quickly for whatever you need. Visit justaskyourhome.com today. Call 1-800-863-4332 for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
You're listening to the Steve Finnegan Show, presented by the Menton Law Firm and PI Roofing and Construction on News Radio 1029 KARN and online at newsradio1029.com.
And welcome back once again, everyone, to the Steve Finnegan Show with me, your professor of democracy, Steve Finnegan, here on News Radio 1029 KARN. I have in the studio with me my guest, Dr. Sam Werry, highly educated economist, worked all over the country. And like I said, and it makes Sam smile, he became a black Republican before it was cool to be a black Republican, and worked closely with previous administrations on school choice and a whole lot of other things. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been driving around the city of Little Rock, it looks like the U.S. Air Force sent a couple B-52 squadrons in here to carpet bomb some of the streets. Of course, we know that the Air Force didn't do that, although Biden does threaten to use U.S. military on American citizens. But anyway, you would think that the mayor's priority would be rebuilding a fire station, getting that city, part of the city, protected again. And, you know, folks, the fire department's response times are much greater now because of that missing fire station in the piece of the puzzle. You know, the units have been redeployed, the engine, and that was one of the stations that had a tower truck with the snorkel and a battalion chief for the Little Rock Fire Department. And that needs to be rebuilt and redone. Now, I was telling Sam, you know, he mentioned this Chicago program that's been very successful. But after the city board of directors meeting, Frank Jr. posted this. And I'm going to read and quote, "Growing Little Rock forward." That's his favorite slogan and euphemism, or results for the Rock. That's what that's his 2 talking points: results for the Rock or growing Little Rock forward. Now, if he was actually doing that, it would be fantastic. But with all these streets that have been damaged actually by the snow and the rain and water getting in there, but I mean, folks, we're not just talking about for out of state. I understand that you don't, but let me just paint the picture, because Chenal, Shackelford, and some of these other streets are major thoroughfares, city-owned streets that commerce, there's so many shopping centers and a lot of stuff, and the entire city of Little Rock's streets, a lot of them are just beyond disrepair. They're like, you're going to take your car's life into your hands when you drive along these streets. So instead of coming out and telling the board of directors and the citizens, Sam, he says, this is what Frank's priority was. Last night, Little Rock took a giant green leap by passing a resolution to move forward with a 4.9 megawatt solar facility. In the 2022 State of the City, I set the goal for Little Rock to have 100% of city operations powered by clean energy by 2030. Keep in mind Agenda 2030, folks. And where, like Sam pointed out, that Frank's a Democrat. Frank's not actually a Democrat. I think Frank's in the Democrat communist group, like some of those in Washington. That's why he got his appointment. And I'll tell you why I say that. With the solar project constructed by Scenic Hill Solar, we'll make significant progress on this goal. We expect solar development to meet 70% of the electricity needs by city operations. Climate change is real. Yeah, Frank, it is. You know, in the beginning of the month, it was 3 degrees and cold as heck in here for 3 days. and then it rained, and then it got warm. And that's the way Arkansas weather is. It's very schizophrenic. Oh, my goodness. From historic floods in 2019 to historic snowfall in 2021, an EF3 tornado, and our recent record of cold, our climate is changing. Yes, Frank, it's called winter, spring, summer, fall. We've had tornadoes in Arkansas going back to the 1800s when they first started keeping track of this stuff and everything else. It rains, it snows. That's the way it goes. Okay, the climate does change. With last night's action, we're doing our part to help mitigate climate impact for our residents. Well, Frank, here, your residents want the murder rate to go down. Sam, I'm sure. And you and Sheriff Higgins had some great ideas we talked about on the break about how to do that. And frankly, right now in Little Rock, I think more and more African Americans are getting upset with the mayor and his lack of response, even though they're among his loyal supporters. I would dare say he wouldn't be mayor today without the African American vote.
I agree.
You got to speak up a little bit.
I agree with that.
You agree with that? Okay.
I can comment on that. I would say that, you know, like the problem that you have in the African American community when it comes to crime, it appalls me that when one African American is maybe hurt or injured or killed by one Caucasian policeman, here comes Al Sharpton, here comes Ben Crump, here comes everyone protesting, marching. And then while they're marching and protesting, right around the corner, there's 3 or 4 African Americans who are gunned down by African Americans and nobody says nothing. Our problem is inner city. Our problem is basically African American on top of African American. I feel like that if Al and if clergy and leadership, if African Americans are terrorizing our community, there should be major protests from within to end that. It is the person who's calling the police out because someone is terrorizing a family. So once they're apprehended, then they feel like then it turns all back on police. Yes, a police that is, you know, someone that is not using regular procedure, apprehending procedure. Yes, they need to be charged. They need to be handled like a regular person. But when we totally neglect what's going on in Little Rock and small towns like Monticello, anywhere else, and we overlook it, our problem is just growing further. So that's why I know that the development and the redevelopment of the African American community is going to first start with us attacking those issues that we used to do in the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, and even the 70s, when our communities was just a gappy, loving community. Now we just want to sit back and blame everybody else for and neglect the problems that are really genociding our entire community. And I just feel like that the mayor and the clergy and the leadership need to band together and invite Mr. Sharpton to town and march on Southwest Little Rock and bring an end to this chaos that is deteriorating our entire city. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I just feel like that we're not solving the problem. We're pouring gas on it by just constantly pointing at one group when the main cancer is within.
Yes. You got a text message. I'm trying to, folks, I get inundated all over the place, but right on Mr. Sam is what one of the listeners just texted in and agreed. Okay. Folks, the mayor's priorities. Another listener just texted in and said, Steve, how is he going to be mayor of Little Rock and work for FEMA? And I was like, yeah, that's a good question. How much of his time is going to be taken away? How much added expense of the Little Rock Police Department, since Frank Jr. is the only mayor in Little Rock history to have a full-time police security detail.
Losing Bruce was a major blow to Frank.
Oh, I said that last week.
And Frank came into office thinking he didn't need Bruce. But Bruce was a person who kept the glue together in Little Rock for years. And I just feel like that if Frank had gotten on board with the empowerment zones and worked towards the development and the redevelopment from 630 South and moving population and rebuilding 10 blocks at a time, we would see a replication of what's going on in West Little Rock and Saline County going on in Southwest Little Rock, as well as in North Little Rock. And until we get that type of attitude to where we're going to look at the total renovation and development of the African-American society, and remove drug economics as the avenue to wealth, but going to vocational specialists. Because let me say this, African-Americans, no matter what naysayers say or produce, are par excellent, accomplished in every field of endeavor in the United States of America since 1970, when we went into total integration. And we have assisted the United States in emerging the greatest society and nation in the history of the world since that time. And now we are being attacked by this immigrant thing that is tearing down both the two citizens that actually made this country what it is today. And I feel like that we just need to reinvert ourselves and say that we are not like we were 40 years ago, but we just have to, like King says, by the content of our character, prove ourselves and catch up with the rest of these people who are out there. I mean, we've been president, we've been vice president. So what, I mean.
Yeah, it's sad that is still being used. I have never met in my 60 years on God's green earth another person that happened to have the same skin color as me that thought they were superior to other people. That's just not the way most people roll. Now, are there some idiots of all races? Yeah, you mentioned a couple of them with Sharpton and Crump. But folks, most people just want to get along. And like Sam pointed out, I mean, the different things that from peanut butter that was invented by an African-American scientist and Webb Du Bois, and all they wanted was an equal opportunity to prove themselves. The Tuskegee Airmen, I mean, I had the privilege of meeting one before he passed away, and he was always dressed to the nines. Dressing down for him was wearing a sports coat and a tie instead of a full-blown suit and tie. And Sam, I think sadly, and it's again mostly in what I call the Democrat-run hellhole cities, the education being offered, especially to minority children, is so subpar that if these kids were given a fair opportunity in education, that they would do that. Okay, folks, we're going to stop here for our final break of the afternoon. Then we'll come back and wrap this up. I'm going to play this very damning indictment of the FBI and the current administration. You're not going to want to miss it. All right, you're listening to me, Steve Finnegan, and we will be back here on KARN after these messages. Hi, this is Steve Finnegan from the Steve Finnegan Show for the Minton Law Firm. Justin Minton is the top injury lawyer in Arkansas. He has settlements totaling millions of dollars for his clients. Justin is an ex-insurance adjuster, and he knows how the insurance companies operate, which is why he can win your personal injury case. You can call the Minton Law Firm at 501-794-0001. That's 501-794-0001, 24 hours a day, and get a free consultation. The other way to get in contact with the Minton Law Firm is through the website at justinmintonlaw.com. All initial consultations are absolutely free, and with offices in Saline County and Faulkner County, Justin is always available to help you through the court process. I can speak from personal experience that Justin does a great job with auto accidents, slip and falls, bad faith insurance, and personal injury cases. So visit justinmintonlaw.com or call 501-794-0001 and start winning your case today.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T.
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah. You just need to send them a text.
Text STAY to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text STAY to 321-321. That's STAY to 321-321.
Attention business owners. Can potential customers find you online when they need you? And does your online presence truly reflect the excellence of your business? If not, we've got the perfect solution for you. It's time to give your business a boost. Introducing Boost by Cumulus Media Little Rock, our cutting-edge digital platform designed to synchronize your business information seamlessly with Google, ensuring accuracy across every corner of the web. Accuracy matters because it directly influences how your business appears on Google, leading to more traffic to your website. Join us for our Cumulus Little Rock Boost conference on March 14th at Embassy Suites West. We have 2 sessions, an 8:30 breakfast session and a 12:30 lunch session. We're giving away thousands of dollars in door prizes, plus every participant in the Boost program will receive an exclusive Boost bonus to help promote your business. Visit boost-event.com to secure your spot now. Spaces are limited, but the event is free. Reserve your seat now by visiting boost-event.com. Success is just a boost away. Go to boost-event.com and RSVP today.
Are you in need of roofing and construction services? Look no further than PI Roofing and Construction, your trusted experts in the industry.
Hi, this is Steve Finnegan from the Steve Finnegan Show. Are you a homeowner looking to enhance the beauty and durability of your roof? Our team of skilled professionals specializes in residential roofing, ensuring that your home is protected from the elements while looking stunning. But PI Roofing and Construction is not just residential. For our business owners, PI Roofing and Construction is here to serve your commercial roofing needs. We understand the unique challenges that come with commercial projects and provide reliable, top-notch solutions that meet your specific requirements.
So whether it's residential, commercial, or specialty roofing, you can trust PI Roofing and Construction to deliver the best results. Contact PI Roofing and Construction at 501-707-3110 or find us online at piroofing.com. That's piroofing.com.
You're listening to the Steve Finnegan Show, presented by the Minton Law Firm and PI Roofing and Construction on News Radio 1029 KARN and online at newsradio1029.com.
And welcome back, everyone. We got one segment left to finish this up in about 8 minutes. Thank you for the text messages. I agree with y'all that Sam and Sheriff Higgins are excellent guests. Sam has just agreed to come back on again in the future to talk about stuff. But there are several different things that I really want to hit on before we get off the air today. One of them is the U.S. Attorney Philip Selinger up in the People's Democratic Republic of New Jersey just made an arrest of a Democrat operative with the FBI. That's why I don't beat up all the FBI agents, because there's more good FBI than there are bad. The bad are in Washington, and that's where the Republicans have to grow some guts and take care of it. The FBI special agent in charge was James E. Dennehy from the Newark, New Jersey office, and they arrested this criminal for he was doing ballot harvesting, false ballots, and everything else. And I'm sorry that that's the quickest I can give you on that, because we're running out of time. And then Sam laughed at this. I got an African-American listener that sent me this in, and I was like, gosh, Sam, I don't know how to answer this one. And it's got Biden's picture on it, and it says, notice I never sniff any black people. And the black listener said, why does he not sniff black people? And I said, I don't know. We got to ask Corn Pop, maybe, or the kids that rubbed his hairy legs in the pool. But I think when it comes to that, and, you know, I sat there and thought about it, I have never seen him sniff an African-American person. I haven't seen him sniff a Hispanic or an Asian either. So I guess he only likes to sniff white people. Maybe Joe's prejudiced. I don't know. All right, folks. Kenny, let's play that a half at least of that guy from Ohio. And when I'll stop it when I want to and comment. So let's go with that now with Scott's
My name is Derek Myers. I'm running to be your next congressman in Ohio's 2nd Congressional District. I'm about to share with you some information that I feel the American people deserves to know. It's not a video that I wanted to make at first. In fact, it's something that I still don't really want to have to share with you. However, I must say the American people deserve to know the truth, and therefore I am sharing this video with you. 4 months ago, when I decided to run for this office, I shared this with my campaign manager and our campaign consultants with hopes that it could be part of my platform. I wanted to tell the truth about what January 6th was. I wanted to tell the truth about our federal government. It was strongly advised that I not come public about that because it could hurt my campaign, it could hurt my polling numbers, and may cost me the election. More importantly, my base would possibly be upset with me with the fact that I'm about to share the information with you that I'm about to share. Many people have asked, is January 6th a setup? Were there undercover FBI agents or human assets inside the crowd of protesters at the Capitol on January 6, 2021? And did those FBI agents or undercover human assets work to radicalize other protesters in order to storm the Capitol? I can tell you 100% definitively, without a doubt, that there were indeed undercover human assets and plainclothes FBI agents inside the crowd on January 6, 2021. I know this because I was the member of a program and recruited by the FBI to take part in such events. I was recruited in 2017 to be part of the FBI's program known as Confidential Human Assets, or what we call field operatives. Essentially, as a field operative, it is our job to infiltrate organizations that are radicalized, gather information and intelligence, find out their next moves, take that information to the FBI, then go back to these organizations, help plan out what these organizations are going to do, record that information, attend these events, attend these protests, and help radicalize them, help get their aggression pent up, make them more angry, make them more upset, so that way the aggression would turn violent as a result of our antagonistic ways of angering these people. Now, you might wonder, why believe me? I mean, after all, this is a guy who's running for office. This is a person who has made national headlines before. When 2020 came around, I was deactivated. I was no longer a member of the program. However, in December of 2020, I was approached by a member of the FBI asking me if I was interested in being reactivated for an assignment in Washington, D.C. that would be taking place in January. I now have since learned that that assignment that was being solicited to me was the Stop the Steal rally, or what some has known as the January 6th insurrection. So when the people ask today, were there undercover FBI agents or confidential human assets working on behalf of the FBI inside the rally on Stop the Steal on January 6, 2021? I'm Derek Myers, and I'm here to tell you that 100% truthfully, definitively, yes, that the FBI does